Hey, family. Today's episode is specifically for those who are interested in burning fat. Like, fat is a nuisance for you. But I want to start off by saying hello. I want to start off by, just extending to you a good old greeting. And I hope that you are keeping your fitness in mind. I hope that you're keeping your wellness in mind. I hope that you are in the middle of an adventure of trying to do something that will continue to be helpful and transformational for you and those you care about. I hope that you plan to be here every single weekday at 7 a.m., right? We are having next level conversations and things are changing, man. There's a lot going on that you really want to pay attention to. A lot of questions, a lot of value. It's about to be a real thing. I want to really start off with the reflection that really accents the importance of going after your dreams, the importance of trying to figure out what your lane is and having the discipline and having the commitment to start down that lane without a lot of experience and start down that lane without a lot of support and start down that lane without a lot of certainty around people's who's going to be your people, who's going to be in it with you. Sometimes we don't do the things that we really imagine that we can do because we don't feel like anybody's going to support us. We don't feel like anybody's going to show up. We don't feel like we're good enough. We don't feel like we're experienced enough. And in some ways, a lot of that may be true, right? Like, it may be true that when you start to do something that you're passionate about, it may just be you. It may be true that you discover that a lot of people that say that they support you only support you in ways that don't really feel like support to you. But that is not the reason why you don't show up. That is not the reason why you don't give it your best. That is not the reason why you don't, create a plan that's amazing. That's not. That's not a reason why you don't build muscle. You got to keep going. And for me, fitness is a real thing, man. For me, I'm really into giving myself a daily opportunity to win. I'm really into pushing myself in the fitness space. I'm really into paying attention to what happens when I deepen my commitment in the space. Some of the obstacles that surface are surprising to me sometimes, unexpected, sometimes scary, sometimes, the obstacles reveal my weaknesses sometimes, but that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm getting to know myself. You should get to know yourself too. And you discover the things you like, you discover the things you don't like. Um, there's just so much learning that happens. And so today, I want to give you some exercises that are connected to burning fat. There are a lot of people who want to get rid of the fat, right? They want to weigh less. They want to look different. They want fat to show up differently in their lives and in their bodies. They're just, they want to make some changes. Let me also talk to the people who say things like, I don't have time to work out. Now, I want to deal with the I don't have time to work out people. If you ever said, I don't have time to work out, you should watch this video. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You eat well most of the day, but at around 8 p.m., all right, Nope, that's not it. If you've ever thought, I don't have time to work out, this is for you. The biggest misunderstanding is that the secret to burning fat is you got to go to the gym. The secret to burning fat is that you have to go to the gym. And the truth is, that's not true. It's the time that you spend in the gym, but it's what you do with the other hours of the day. And so, on average, let's say that you spend anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour at the gym, not including getting dressed and driving to the gym, traveling to the gym, traveling home. That alone means you have 23 hours to make decisions that will burn fat for that day. So, one of your mistakes is really thinking that workouts are the only thing that burns fat. So that's not true. The other mistake is you got to learn the value of non exercise activity thermogenics. Good morning. Non exercise activity thermogenesis. Hey man, welcome. Good to see you. Check in, say what's up. Um, we still over here doing our thing. Um, you reminded me of something, so I'm gonna fix that right now. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, hey man, good to see you. So let's talk about burning fat. You can burn fat by doing more walking. Okay, you got to do more walking. Move your legs. Move your legs. Try to get about 6,000 steps in a day. If you're being ambitious, do 7. If you want to really make a habit of it, make a lifestyle of it, do 10 or 12. Right? This is not going to the gym. This is not deliberately working out, but this is moving your body. That'll help you to fight fat and burn fat. Right? Walk 10 minutes, use a step tracker, and find movement moments. All right, so walk through your day and ask yourself how many times I'm standing up. Walk through your day and take an idea. Like, here's one of the good ways to do it. Let me give y'all a real tip here. Park farther. So when you go in a parking lot, the typical habit is that you want to park close. I want you to find farther parks so that you can take more steps. This is making sense to you, right? So in your day, you have opportunities to find movement moments and make choices about that. If you can find more movement moments, then you can burn more fat. I just gave you the tip of the day. If you can find more movement moments, then you can absolutely burn more fat. You can burn more fat if you find ways to move. So if you work, the movement moment is standing up or going to, like, certain buildings are really large buildings. Some of y'all work in corporate offices. Finding really, really intentional places to pause in your day and move. So we've got standing up. Some people have integrated literally into their offices a walking treadmill to give their body permission to move. And they can walk and work at the same time. They can walk and take calls at the same time. They can walk and be on meetings at the same time. So if you have a Zoom room and you are at the Zoom table, you can lift your table up or you can go off camera, and during that meeting you could just be walking on your treadmill. You don't have to go to a gym for that. You get you a small treadmill that you can have at home, and you literally turn that thing on and you start moving. You got to move more if you want to burn fat. And you want to track your steps. You can get a Fitbit, you can get an iWatch, you can get anything that really monitors what's happening when you're moving. So, but one of the things that's really helpful for me outside of just walking 10 minutes after a meal is going to the bathroom. right? So if you happen to be in a space and you're drinking the requisite amount of water, you're going to have to go and pee more often. And that is one way to get your steps in, if that's making any sense, right? Get your steps in by going to the bathroom. So if you're at work, go to the far bathroom. If you're at work, go to the bathroom on the floor that's not your floor. Like, say, I'm never going to the bathroom on my floor and I'm not going to take the elevator, and you will revolutionize your fat burning that happens when you are not at the gym. Do you understand? I'm just going to make a decision. So I'm going to park further. I'm going to take the stairs and I'm going to drink enough water to put myself in position to go to the bathroom more frequently. This is how I can get my steps in, and this is how I can burn fat. All right. But with the rest of our time, I want to go over some of the exercises that will allow you to burn fat quicker and build abs. If you've ever wanted to build abs, and I could put some pictures up on the screen that show you that I've been quite successful in moving from a flabby belly to a belly that has abs. I can feel my abs. When I put my hands up, my abs show. When I stand up, my abs show. When I sit down, my abs show. And I'm really happy about that, man. That was something that I've been working on. I had had abs my entire life. It was something that I take really, really good pride in. I wanted my midsection, particularly, to be the place where all of my work showed up. That was my first ambition. People want to know how I got into working out. It was simply, I wanted a six pack. And it's interesting because when we talk about anatomy and we talk about bodies, this infatuation with the six pack really suggests that everybody's body shows up the same way. It does not. Some people get an eight pack where you have these two ripples at the top, and then you've got your regular abs, and then you've got your abs at the bottom. I don't know what your ambition is, but if you're trying to burn fat and you're trying to build abs, I've got some signature workouts that you really want to pay attention to that are going to really, really help you burn, right? Really help you build those abs, really, really help you to burn fat. And so you get the high calories and you get to simultaneously really work on your midsection. It is true that most of the work in the midsection happens when you are making eating decisions. But if we're going to talk about fitness, I'm going to give you some of my favorite ones. You want to take it and you want to run. Okay. Now, this might be, it may seem intuitive. So when you're thinking about building your abs, you're not exclusively just talking about ab movements like sit ups, right? So a lot of people will say, yeah, man, I'll do a certain amount of sit ups, and sit ups are helpful. But even then, I'm going to tell you, man, people are doing sit ups and they're doing it the wrong way, right? Like you're doing sit ups and you're hurting your back. I mean, you're doing sit ups and you're not, like, you're hurting your back, right? You're doing sit ups and you're not being intentional about how you are getting your body up off the ground. Where are you pulling from? Are you pulling from your lower back, right? What's the rhythm? What do you do with your hands? Some of y'all are putting your hands behind your neck, straining your neck, pulling up every time, right? You're not really controlling the sit up either. You're just throwing your body up and letting it hit the ground, right? We're not doing a contracted deceleration that's sensitive to the curvature of your back. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm talking about some signature ones. And so I understand that some exercises are like crunches and some exercises are sit-ups. And one of these days I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna model it for you, but I don't have that time to do it today. So one of the real signature things that I'm super duper intentional about that has really helped me to build abs is what we call the plank hold, the lower plank hold. It is where you get on your knees, and it is where you put your feet out. Your knees are up off the ground. There is a version of this, but you can't do, there's a version of this that is an adjusted one for people who have bad lower backs. But if you've got bad lower backs or you have a weak core, right, and you want to do this in a way that's easier, you put your knees on the ground, but then you're not going to be in a low plank. You're going to get in the push-up position. So, anyways, the plank really helps. The way that I do my planks, listen to me. the way that I maximize the burn, the burn of fat, is when I am doing a plank and I'm down on my knees. I make sure that my body is as flat as possible, but you don't really get flat. You get a kind of horizontal thing. You don't want to get this. This is not a plank. That's not how your body's supposed to look during a plank. Your body's supposed to be kind of angled down. If you come down on your knees, you'll have a brief up that this is your butt. You'll have a lump there. If you know, some people are built differently, so some people's bump will be bigger than others. You want to you want to try to flatten, but you really want this angle here, okay? And you want to hold that. So you're holding that. The key to holding this is your breathing, and the key to holding this is where you're actually holding the tension. So some people make a mistake because they hold it in their lower back. When you are doing a plank, you're holding it in your core. You are literally, so if you're breathing and you need to, you find yourself needing to pull string, you want to hold your breath and you want to literally contract your abs. Okay. And the way that you can really be sure that you're doing that is to hump while you're in the position, not hump repetitively, but there is a forward thrust that you can do while you're in this position. It's a simple movement of the hips forward. It's a curling of the back a bit here. You see that? So the plank is almost a pulling in of all the strength to your abs without bending your back, without putting your butt up in the air. And that's the correct plank. That's the correct plank position. What you will discover is that you relieve tremendous pressure on your lower back. What you'll see is that you will engage your core. For those of you who don't have a core that is really strong, that's going to be challenging for you at first. So you get on your elbows, you 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 uh, you bring your hips forward in the lunge position, and you hold it there, and then you basically manage your breathing. You take an exhale, and then you push back into it. All right, you're holding, you're letting out. When you exhale, you do not have permission to change your posture. That's it. You got to hold it. So the plank goes well for me. The other thing that helps me, listen now, to build my core is actually what's called a touchdown. All right, it's where it's a high cardio movement. You're basically bringing your feet together, jumping them apart like you would a jumping jack, except at that point, you go to just above 45 degrees and you touch down. You touch the ground and you do it again. It's a repetitive act. You're asking me how that strengthens my core because it forces me to breathe in a way that will engage my core. It picks up my heart rate. It gives me cardio. But every time I get into that squat, so if you are doing squats properly, you're also building core. If you're doing squats properly. So air squats also help build your core. And it's a major burn. Body weight squats, body weight squats help build the core, gives you a major burn. You will get a good sweat in. Okay, so you've got your plank hold, you've got your body weight squats, you've got your sit-ups, and there's this thing called knee tucks. Go look it up. Knee tucks are brutal. Knee tucks are brutal. You notice that none of the fat burning uh, exercises that I'm giving you require a gym. I'm gonna get on in the future, and I'm going to model this for you, boy. So I'm going to do a workout with me virtual, and we're gonna see if we can't get it in. We're gonna see if we can't get it in. We're gonna do a 15-minute virtual workout. I don't feel like doing that, but we're going to do that. See if you can get on with me, wake up early enough, and we can actually do some working out together. Let me give you one more, and then we're going to get off. Excuse me. Yep, that's happened in real time. The last thing that helps to build core is called the mountain climber. I'm still in the plank decision, the plank position, but it is mountain climbing. Most people don't do mountain climbers well because their arms are not strong, and so they are not able to get to the level, not able to level their body, so that when you're bringing your legs up, you're engaging your core. All right. So those things. Oh wow! And I forgot one. The other one is the bicycle crunch, but still, most people don't do the bicycle crunch properly either. And so it's really all something that we want to be really, really mindful of. Okay. You want to be really, really mindful of. You want to be really, really mindful of. And so I am low on time today, but I've given you a couple of things. Number one, I've given you some thoughts about how to burn fat and how to burn fat without having to go to the gym. I told you that the gym can no longer be an excuse. I told you also that when you are trying to burn fat, the excuse can't be I'm too busy to work out. Because if you integrate movement, if you integrate step trackers, and if you end up activating your body after meals, you can fix all of that. I really want to talk more about this, but I need to know if you want to hear more about this. Outside of that, I have completed my assignment for the day. I appreciate you guys tapping in. We're on here every morning at 7 a.m. Just trying to drop information that we believe will be helpful. Thank you guys for tapping in. And we tapping out.